CM Punk finally had his big reunion with Paul Heyman, and it delivered in a big way. We'll also check out the big Bloodline edition, other Roman Reigns matters, and more. Starting things off with CM Punk and everything he did on the June 21st edition of Smackdown. CM Punk kicked off the Chicago edition of Smackdown and even reflected on some of the big moments he had in that same exact arena, such as Money in the Bank 2011. But Punk gets interrupted by Paul Heyman. Heyman isn't out there in hostile means of any kind. He comes out and gives CM Punk nothing but high praise, even highlighting how Punk sat next to his kids when he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Heyman hugs CM Punk and tells him how much he needed that hug, which was a reference to all the stress that Heyman has been put through lately from Solo Sikoa. But Heyman finally gets to the real reason why he was out there, and it was to warn CM Punk that Solo was looking to hurt Punk because he didn't like how everyone was going around and saying that Chicago was Punk's city. So as a friend and looking out for Punk's well-being, Heyman advised Punk to get as far away as possible from SmackDown before the Bloodline came around. Paul Heyman has given a similar friendly warning like this to other superstars such as Kevin Owens in recent weeks as well. Paul Heyman isn't being evil or scummy when he tells superstars to run because Solo is coming for them. Heyman is being 100% genuine and trying to actually give them a real heads up of what's to come. And that's what he did for CM Punk. He wasn't disrespecting Punk in any way by telling him to leave. He was just saying it as a friend and to protect Punk, who he cares deeply for. Paul Heyman was even about to ask Punk for a favor, but the Bloodline interrupted and made their way to the ring. CM Punk called the new Bloodline a whole bunch of phonies and took some shots at them. And when Punk finally asked Heyman about what that favor was, Heyman says he was going to ask Punk if he could take him with him and away from Solo Sikoa, which again was a very eye-opening moment. Heyman and Punk have lots of deep history with each other, so it makes sense that Heyman would feel safe trying to run away with Punk. But Heyman saying something like this once again opens up that big gaping plot hole of Roman's lack of communication with Heyman. Roman isn't living under a rock, he most likely knows what's happening, and even revealed that he did know when he recently unfollowed Solo Sikoa on social media. So why is Roman continuing to put his wiseman Paul Heyman through all this trauma? Why can't Roman reach out and communicate to Heyman and fact-check some of the things that's going on? It's to the point where Heyman is literally begging to be rescued from other superstars, so why does Roman continue to leave Heyman in the dark like that? And remember that just prior to WrestleMania 40, Heyman had Roman on speed dial and talked to him whenever he pleased, but all of a sudden when they need to talk to each other the most, no one can reach the other. But Cody came out to save Punk and chase the Bloodline off. Solo Sikoa confronted Heyman about requesting to run away with CM Punk. Solo threatened Heyman some more because of that and tasked him with making sure Randy and Kevin didn't qualify for the Money in the Bank match. And seconds before Solo Sikoa was going out to the ring for the main event, we got even more reveals from both sides of Heyman and Solo. Paul Heyman reveals that Roman Reigns had the Bloodline following a strict rule about no hands being put on CM Punk only due to the fact that Punk meant a lot to Heyman, and Roman wanted to respect that. But if it wasn't for Cody saving the day, Solo Sikoa was ready to break that rule and put all hands on Punk. Heyman continues to lecture Solo about all the things he's doing wrong until Solo breaks the big news to Paul Heyman and says that Roman Reigns isn't ever coming back to WWE, which was a very big bomb dropped by Solo Sikoa onto Paul Heyman. It looks like Solo is starting to get a bit tired of lying to Paul Heyman about being in talks with Roman Reigns, and the truth is finally starting to come out. Solo Sikoa being confident about Roman Reigns not coming back is interesting as well. Does Solo Sikoa know something that everyone doesn't know? Did Solo Sikoa, the new Bloodline members, and possibly even someone like The Rock all come together to deliver a hit of some sorts on Roman Reigns? Did they all attack Roman off-screen that bad, and that's why Roman hasn't reached out to Heyman recently? Something like that could be in play. Because why is Solo so confident that Roman isn't ever coming back? But we get to the main event, and we start to see bits and pieces to why Solo has been more confident. Jacob finally made his long-awaited WWE debut in a massive fashion by playing a key role in helping the Bloodline take out Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes. There's been rumors going around since April about Jacob's debut in Bloodline Edition, and it has finally happened. Jacob had a very impressive showing in his debut and appears to be that extra spark the Bloodline needed. Jay even reacted to Jacob's debut by posting the eyes emoji to his Instagram story. It looks like this could be the final version of Solo's bloodline. He now has himself, the Tongans, and Jacob, which is quite the firepower. And considering that Heyman was already stressing out before, life just got even harder for Heyman because he had to digest Solo's reveal that Roman is never coming back, and Jacob's arrival all within a few minutes apart from each other. And maybe Solo's confidence about Roman never coming back is due to the fact that Solo figures Roman isn't going to come back to try and go against the new bloodline. Roman will be unable to actually do anything within the bloodline since it'll be a 4-on-1 situation. So maybe that itself and all that big numbers advantage is what is Solo poking out his chest and feeling like he'll be the permanent tribal chief going forward. And understandably so, because adding Jacob should take Solo's confidence through the roof. Solo probably believes that he'll easily win the WWE title from Cody Rhodes with all of this new bloodline help he has. And in his eyes, if he's the champion and he has these 3 massive family soldiers by his side, Roman can't say or do anything to him. So that appears to be Solo's big plan here. Despite the numbers advantage, Cody Rhodes should still find a way to successfully retain against Solo Sikoa. And then it won't be long after that when Solo will eventually have to face Roman Reigns and face the consequences for his insane actions over the last few months. And in Wyatt Sicks related news, the group was still a part of the June 21st edition of Smackdown through their spirit and aura. Following the events of the massacre, Nick Aldis had extra amount of security all throughout the arena for Smackdown the entire night long. There were extra security guards standing next to spots they're usually not at, such as commentary. And every time there was a backstage segment, you can easily spot several more guards standing around and protecting the superstars. The Wyatt Sicks logo itself could even be seen along the walls backstage behind Cody Rhodes when he was shown. Which does have to make you wonder if that's a very early seed being planted for Uncle Howdy versus Cody Rhodes. The Wyatt Sicks didn't end up actually appearing on SmackDown, but still having the threat and idea of them attacking looming over the whole show the entire night was a very nice touch. However, it looks like Monday Night Raw is where they'll be doing a lot of their damage for the time being. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.